Simon's Cat, the leading meme coin on the Binance Smart Chain, is defying all odds. Most meme coins aren't doing too great today, but Simon's Cat is up. Let's have a look at what's driving all of this. Who is buying here? Who's selling here? Let's look at the on-chain metrics most people aren't considering. Now, this is not the first video on Simon's Cat on this channel. I published one 54 days ago and it outperformed the average video by quite a bit. So an average video is here in gray, Simon's Cat is over here in blue. And there's a reason for that outperformance. Now, at the time of publishing of that video, the price was at 4024. Now we are at 4037. So initially we went up by almost 90%. Then we came back down. Now we are up since publishing of that video by 52%. And so that's the idea of this channel, right? I try to discuss tokens that are just in the process of growing. If you want to be early, next time feel free to subscribe. Now let's have a look at what's causing that rise and subsequent fall and now a very quick pump again. Let's actually check out what happened to those more than 230,000 holders, because not all holders are created equal. Now for the chart on the left, we look at the number of wallets that have at least 30 million Simon's Cat tokens. And at the current price, that's worth $1,112. That's what I'd consider retail that still can move the price somewhat. Among those 232,000 holders, only 3,717 wallets actually hold that amount. In other words, more than 98% of holders have less than $1,000 worth of CAT. Now in the middle, we go another 10x in minimum holding. So that's now at least $11,000 roughly. On the right, another 10x. So that's now $110,000 worth of the token. We see two waves of accumulation, and it seems like the second wave, where the number of retail investors grew by roughly 50%, was much more prominent among the small holders compared to the larger whales, right? The number of whales only grew by roughly 10%. So that second wave stopped on the 11th of September. And interestingly enough, the price movements don't really mirror that adoption, right? We saw all those new wallets, but we don't really see how the price is pumping massively and then potentially staying flat, right? It's rather than profit taking. Isn't it fascinating how the number of wallets isn't really correlated with the price? Now let's zoom in a little bit. Let's have a look at just what happened in the last month. The price in aggregate went down by 11%, but we did see a pump just recently. Now here's the number of holders with the same holding thresholds just for the last month. So we are basically zooming in from those top charts to just look at the last month. And we don't see that much growth of small retail or medium-sized retail or whales. We rather see the tendency of profit taking. Again, the price chart would suggest that there's some kind of clear trend. The first 2 weeks of this month we went down by pretty much 50%, but the number of holders didn't really change that much. Can we find out what happened with this second pump? Was it a lot of new investors buying into the token, maybe because of some kind of marketing campaign, or was this returning traders that maybe bought more? Here's why on-chain data is so useful. We can get an answer to that question. What we've got on the left is the number of returning users in orange and the number of new users in purple. And it seems like on that 21st of October, a lot of returning users traded the token again. It was not new users. Wallets that touched CAT before also bought over here. I personally prefer to see rather the opposite, right? I want to see a growing investor base. The more people come into a token, the higher the price can sustainably go. Currently, it seems like the holder growth isn't really that strong. It seems like this pump is also not created by new joiners, but by the existing traders. And so that would suggest that maybe at some point those existing traders could be selling again. On the right, we see pretty much the same data as on the left. The only difference is that it's normalized to 100%. Instead of looking at the number of traders, we just look at the percent of new users versus returning users. Can we get a hint of what's going on by looking at individual wallets? Do we see potentially how influencers are manipulating the price? Let's have a look at the wallets that we are tracking. We track more than 400 influencer wallets. So we've got two interesting messages over here. Influencer Jesse Pollack received CAT tokens, so that's 1.5 million tokens. And James Rinn received 3 million tokens and then subsequently 17 million tokens. That was in the middle of May. Now receiving is not the same as buying, right? It could be simply the team sending tokens to influencers to then ask them to promote the token. But it could also be moves from centralized exchanges, right? When an influencer buys a token on a centralized exchange and then afterwards sends it for cold storage to their wallet. Usually though, it's simply the team, especially when a project is in its very early stages, the team simply tries to find ways to get the word out. And so here's Tyler Hill, we track his wallets. And here are the 2 wallets that we track by James Wynn. In total, we have 433 wallets now. And it's always interesting what's going on. For example, here, Kyle Chessy, he bought NDX for 0.023 cents. We are discussing the signal over here, but I'm not sharing this publicly on YouTube. And the price is at all-time highs. We are now at 0.0247 cents, up another 5% in that last hour. So this seems to be something interesting. Liquidity of only 440K. I'm going to buy some of this as well. So this is what crypto is all about, right? It's about being early. It's about buying together with the smart money. It's not about buying when it's already promoted on YouTube. It's about buying when nobody else knows yet about a token, when still the market cap is very small. And so I invite you to join Premium as well. There is a 7-day money back guarantee. So in case you don't like what you see, simply message me within the first 7 days and then I will refund you 100%, no questions asked. The link is down below. It's thebitcoinstrader.com. And besides all those trading signals, there's also plenty of tutorials. One complete course just on wallet tracking, how to set up bots, how to find influencer wallets, etc. And of course, we've also got the usual. We've got dedicated chats on individual altcoins where we can then discuss when to buy and when to sell. So to sum it all up with the Simon's Cat token, I believe that price discovery does not happen 100% organically. It seems like currently the holder growth is pretty much flat. I'm not really sure if it makes sense to buy this pump because it is mainly caused by the whales. It's mainly caused by the people that already own the token. It's not new people coming in. And we want to have a growing investor base over time for the price to continue rising. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you on the next video or see you in Premium. Cheers!